Imagine waking up, stepping onto your balcony, and seeing a pod of humpback whales breaching right outside your window. An Alaskan cruise is a bucket list vacation, but if you pack the wrong gear, choose the wrong cabin site, or book the wrong excursions, you could completely ruin your trip. In today's video, I'm going to break down everything you need to know about cruising Alaska. The 70 round trip itinerary departs from Seattle. We will hit Juneau, Skagway, Glacier Bay, and Ketchikan. Arrive at the port of Seattle at 11 a.m., Pier 66, drop your heavy bags with the porter, clear security, and board the ship. Have lunch, connect to the ship's guest Wi Fi, open your NCL app, and instantly reserve your tickets and lock in your entertainment. In Alaska, the scenery is the destination. Having your own private balcony completely changes the experience. You can step outside in your pajamas at 5 a.m. to see a passing glacier or spot whales in total silence. First, let's talk about the ship. The Norwegian Encore was literally custom built for cold weather scenery. Your absolute best friend on this ship is the observation lounge on deck 15. It features massive floor to ceiling panoramic windows. You can sit in a heated indoor lounge, grab a cocktail or a coffee from the buffet, and watch glaciers roll by without freezing. On Glacier Bay Day, this lounge fills up by 6 a.m. Day 2 is Sea Day, so explore the ship and scout out prime wildlife viewing spots. You can enjoy a quiet coffee and light breakfast buffet while looking for
Wonderful
views.
day, hello, enjoy. Hello, my day. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your day. Have a lovely day.
This sounds exhausting. Just to hear them say, welcome to the hotel, California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely place.
Day 3 is Juneau, Alaska. You will see glaciers, whales, and historic Alaskan pubs. The Encore docks at the AJ dock. Take the quick shuttle into downtown Juneau. Board your pre-booked small boat whale watching excursions. Then take a commercial shuttle out to the spectacular Mendenhall Glacier to hike the trail to Nugget Falls. Next up is Skagway, a beautifully preserved 1897 cold rush time capsule with wooden boardwalks and saloon doors. Walk through the historic falls front town of Skagway. The town is extremely compact, roughly 2 blocks wide and 20 blocks long. It is the easiest port on your itinerary to navigate entirely on foot. The absolute crown jewel excursion here is the White Pass and Yukon Route Railroad. You are physically crossing the international border into Canada on this tour. A passport card or driver's license will not work, and if you forget your physical passport book in your cabin, tour operator will legally deny you boarding. This vintage steam train literally picks you up right at your cruise ship pier and climbs 3,000 feet past roaring waterfalls and vertical gorges. Instead of riding the train up and down in a loop, you take a small minibus one way up the spectacular Klondike Highway and ride the train the other way. The bus can pull over at the iconic Welcome to Alaska and Yukon Highway signs for photos, which the train obviously cannot do. Now, a secret: if you take the bus up and train down, you will be boarding the train in Canada and riding it downhill southbound back to the port. To get the iconic postcard perfect shots of the train snaking along the deep cliff canyons, you must sit on the right side of the train car facing forward.
Their end between Skagway and mile marker 40 Lake Bennett. The inhumanity that this trail has witnessed, the heartbreak and suffering that so many experienced cannot be imagined. However, we can imagine how important the building of this railroad became when we take into consideration.
The Yukon Suspension Bridge is a highly popular purpose-built tourist attraction located at the 47.5 kilometer marker of the South Klondike Highway. If you are booking a rail and bus combo tour that goes into Canada, this bridge is typically a major feature or the primary turnaround point of the excursion. If you want to experience both the train and the bridge, you must specifically look for an excursion titled White Pass Summit Rail and Yukon Suspension Bridge. Glacier Day National Park is the undisputed crown jewel of Alaska cruise. Unlike other stops, Glacier Bay is a scenic cruising day. The ship does not drop anchor and we cannot walk off the vessel. Instead, the Norwegian Encore converts into a massive floating observation deck. The ship slowly reaches the end of the fjord at the face of Marjorie Glacier. The captain slowly parks the ship and spins it 360 degrees so both the sides of the vessel get a front row view. Every other cruise line docks right in downtown Ketchikan, but Norwegian docks at their own private double berth facility called Wadco, which is located nearly 9 miles north of town. On day 6, we reached Ketchikan, the salmon capital of the world and one of the rainiest places on earth. There are free shuttle ride to downtown and walk along the historic Creek Street. The final stop is Victoria in British Columbia. Due to some old maritime law, foreign ships sailing out of Seattle must stop in Canada, and it is usually from 8 p.m. to midnight. Enjoy the fairy tale nightcap in Canada.
So the neighborhood on our right-hand side here, you start noticing the age of the buildings. So everything to our right is Old Victoria. Block that has the sign on it, the Empress, that is the original, built in 1906. I'll give you more history about the Empress a little later. But the addition to the left of this center block, the middle of the province, so that is the seat of government, our legislature buildings over there. Give you a little more history about that later as well.
While they're not on tours, and both Phoebe and Jack are very versatile. They're
Home decor, that everything Chinese in there. Some really nice old school Chinese restaurants here. To the right, take a look at that little alleyway with a red gate on it. I'm going to keep nice and slow so everybody gets a chance to see that little alleyway there. It's called Fantan Alley, and it is an official street in British Columbia. It's only 3 feet wide between two buildings for about 20 feet, and then it widens out to about 8 feet between another set of buildings. there were opium dens down there back in the day. And today there are some funky stores down there. But they have to gate it off at night for security reasons because it's, so isolated in there. And apparently there's some urban myth that if began in 1928, and it is larger than the original center block. So the way the engineers managed to build something like that on reclaimed land is over a period of 2 years they sunk 3,000 log pilings into the ground. They were creosoted log pilings so that they would not rot. And then they removed the wet soil, filled it with sand and gravel and broken granite blocks, and then they managed to build a hotel that size on it.
If you think that incredible glaciers are only in Alaska, just wait until you see what's waiting for you back at the departure port. In my upcoming video, I'm taking you on a complete day trip from Seattle straight into the heart of Mount Rainier National Park. Hit that subscribe button and I'll see you on the mountains. Till then, bye.